Twilight is by far the most tidy and organized of the main six, and even of the princesses. But is it possible that Twilight has OCD? It's a common misconception that OCD is just the need to organize everything, whether alphabetically or by color or by shape. However, that's only a small part of this disorder. First of all, OCD stands for Obsessive Compulsive Disorder, and like the name would suggest, it's an anxiety disorder that causes people to have obsessions and compulsions. There's no single symptom of OCD, it takes many different forms. Most people with OCD fall into one of 5 categories. Let's see which category, if any, Twilight falls into. First we have checkers, and I'm not talking about the board game. These people will repeatedly check things like whether the oven was turned off or if a door was locked. While writing emails, letters, or texts, some people check over and over again for grammatical or spelling errors. I have a friend who feels the need to make sure doors are locked. Even if he had just checked the same door 3 times before, there's still this compulsion to check it again and again. Twilight has been known to double and triple check her checklists, but this isn't OCD. It's only Twilight taking caution. The difference is checkers take so much caution it interferes with their daily life, takes up time, and causes distress. So I would say Twilight does not fall into this category. Next we have washers. Pretty self-explanatory. People who fall into this category are afraid of contamination. Some wash their hands more than 50 times a day, which is actually worse for them. Even if they know they're overreacting, the urge is often too strong to resist. Washers can be found decontaminating surfaces frequently, and are usually paranoid of things like dirt, crowds, or other potentially germy substances. Twilight doesn't really show any of these symptoms, so this one doesn't seem to fit her either. Third, we have the hoarders, people that fear something bad will happen if they throw anything away. These people often hold on to random objects, even trash, even though they have no use. Needless to say, this isn't a very healthy lifestyle. Although some would argue that the end of Traja might be an example of Twilight hoarding, I don't think this is anything she'll struggle with in the future. The fourth category, counters and arrangers. This is the group most people are familiar with. Counters and arrangers are obsessed with order and symmetry. Sorry, that was mean of me. Anyways, some people have superstitions about different arrangements, numbers, or colors. There's only 2 clips that would hint towards Twilight being an arranger. Let's look at Lesson 0, where Twilight wasted a significantly long amount of time rearranging the frosting on cupcakes. She basically stated that they all had to be the same, or it wouldn't be fair for everybody. For the second clip, well, I'll just show it to you.
Twilight! Ah! Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you.
No, it's okay. I need to take a break anyway. What's going on?
Now, if things like this happen more often, I might be convinced, but it only happened twice. I mean, it's a possibility, but let's move on to the most convincing candidate. Fifth and foremost, we have doubters and sinners. If everything isn't done perfectly or just right, doubters and sinners are afraid that terrible things will happen and they'll get punished. This has Twilight's name written all over it. Just look at A Bird in the Hoof. Twilight totally overreacted when Fluttershy took Philomena. She thought Celestia would put her and Fluttershy in some jail cell in the Everfree Forest. And then we have Lesson 0. Twilight thought missing one assignment would get her sent back to Magic Kindergarten. She can't even take a test without thinking everything's going down. Her schedule has to be perfect too. And it's about time, before future Twilight arrived, she was up at 3 a.m. worrying about a scheduling problem. Before Season 4, anytime something didn't go just right, she pretty much had a breakdown. Yes, I'd say with certainty that Twilight has OCD, falling into the doubters and sinners category. But wait, there's more. Notice that I said before Season 4. Twilight hasn't had a major freakout at all as a princess, but it's not like becoming a princess took away her OCD. There's no known cure for OCD, but it is possible to get this disorder under control, even though it will always be in the background. So if her OCD didn't disappear upon her transformation into princesshood, when did Twilight stop showing symptoms? In Games Ponies Play, the main 6 were with Cadance, getting ready to welcome the Equestria Games Inspector. And long story short, everything went wrong. The first time there was something to lose her head over, this happened. And every time after that, Twilight stayed a lot more calm and collected. Well, at least more than she would usually. I'm sure that wasn't the first time Cadance shared that trick with Twilight. It's no secret that all the princesses were preparing Twilight for being a princess. Now, getting OCD under control is a lot harder and takes more time and encouragement. But I think Twilight can be a symbol of hope for those who have obsessive compulsive disorder. Her improvement might be inspiration to some people, which is pretty cool. Stay tuned for next week. Does Pinkie Pie have ADHD? Just kidding, I'm not posting a video next week or the week after for the holidays. Even when I get back, I probably won't explore that topic. Let me know what you think about this video in the comments. This is the Brony Notion, signing out until 2015. Brohoof.